Угу. Не хочешь. Мне водички, пляжку попью. Oh, hi, Shalish. How's it going? You are on mute. I don't hear you.
Hello,
Hello, hello.
how are you?
Good. As usual, a lot of context switching, but so far so good.
Okay, great.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm okay. And still catching up with the things, but yeah.
Hi, John.
Hey, Yuri.
I just started sharing my desktop. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. But let's wait a couple of minutes. Hi, Alan.
Nope.
Oh, hi, Roberto.
Hello.
How's it going?
One sec. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Oh. No, no.
Let's wait for the Gonzalo and Fabio.
All right.
Oh, hi, Fabio. I just wrote you in chat. Okay, anyway, the meeting is recorded and I propose to start. So welcome everyone for the first autumn meeting, community meeting. And as usual, we need to follow antitrust policy notice and the code of conduct defined by the Hyperledger. And today's agenda, as usual, updates, reviewing GitHub discussions, and the Q&A section. So last week we had a slightly different format of conversation because mostly all Identus engineers were presented at the meeting. So the follow-up from previous week is that we have ongoing activities. Together with Lace, we started to elaborate the proof of humanness for Discord. The main idea of this initiative is to protect Discord communities from different bots and scammers and allow to properly authorize and authenticate the user in the Discord channel. We just started this initiative from the product management perspective, defined goals and later going to switch to the concrete plan and architecture of this solution. And as far as I know, Fabio and Gonzalo had a couple of use cases that can be used in this initiative. Yep. Also, we discussed login with the Prism DIT using the DITCOM protocol. Fabio created the issue, and it was a follow-up of the workshop that we've done at the Rio conference. And the main idea is to define a new authentication protocol for the DITCOM and allow to authenticate user in different apps and application using some identity wallet, for instance, LACE, and DITCOM protocol. So it was a long conversation because login with DIT can be implemented in a number of different ways, and Gonzalo proposed to use the simplest way with deep links for mobile application. There is also a solution with OpenID for AVC and OpenID SIOP specification when you have OIDC authentication server and can extend the API to use authentication. And yep, third option is using DITCOM. Fabio is on this. And Gonzalo started adding issuance to the Swift SDK and other SDKs. So fingers crossed, we believe that it will be implemented in the next platform release. And last week we planned to start adding WCDM 2.0 support to the platform. So Gonzalo started to do this in the Swift SDK. Any questions regarding this? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
No, where can we follow that project? The login with
which
the-
one? This one?
Yeah.
We started this initiative with LACE,
Mhm.
and we're going to implement particular components on the Identus side and use the LACE wallet to perform the authentication. And the main purpose is to have particular components that can be used in any other identity wallets.
Okay. But it's all, I guess, gonna be over GitHub.
Hmm?
It's gonna be over GitHub.
Yes, GitHub. Right now, the LACE wallet has two versions. The web wallet is called internally like a V1, and it supports only the web version. And the LACE platform V2 is currently a private repository, and LACE is going to make it public in the end of this year. And this repository is a React Native project that supports web, iOS, and Android applications. So the LACE wallet is going to be a mobile application, and it's also going to be public soon. But I believe that part of the components and even login with DIT we can use in this initiative. So we will create as much as possible components under the Hyperledger to support this solution. Okay.
Great. Yep.
And I believe that you can be involved in this. We can post update about particular stuff. And if you have any ideas regarding challenges, how to prove that particular person is human, you are welcome. Cool. Regarding this week, it's first of all Insight. Gonzalo told us that he added support for VCDM 1.1 and 2.0 in the Swift SDK, but we need to cover this with tests and add support to these models in other SDKs and Cloud Agent. So I would say that Gonzalo broke the ice, and we will start adding VCDM 2.0. VCDM is verifiable credential data model. And yep, we put first block in this epic. And socials reported a couple of issues in production. We at least identified a couple of issues, or at least two. The first one is that mediator stops working after some time, and they are starting the mediator. So my personal assumption that it might be related to the memory leak issue, but we cannot detect this from the logs right now, and we just recommended them to upgrade to the version of mediator where we fixed this issue to check if my assumption is right or not. But we still thinking about this. Fabio, would you like to update something?
I mean, it probably is not related because the memory leak makes the mediator restart. They mentioned that they freeze, the mediator freezes, but we have no proof of that. So we need to wait for replicating.
It's true, we don't have proof. That's why I highlighted that this is my personal assumption, because sometimes memory leak might cause some cascading failures and hang somewhere in the middle.
No, so the memory leak, it's out of memory, so it stops the mediator completely. And since it's inside of the Docker that make it restart, it just restarts alone by itself.
Yeah. Anyway, we are still trying to figure out what's wrong here, and Fabio is on top of this question. And we identified issue in the Cloud Agent. When we added support for AD 25519 cryptography, we were able to issue and verify credentials using these keys, but we forgot to add this key type to the background job of the Cloud Agent that updates the revocation list, and it fails when it's trying to find SecP 256K1 key, but the DIT that is used in the logic is AD 25519. So Pat is on this issue, and I guess in a couple of days we will release a new patch of the Cloud Agent that will support both types of keys in the revocation list background job. Any questions about this or anything else, guys, that you would like to add?
You want me to add on the VCDM 1.1 and 2.0?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the previous model works as well, which is 1.1 with particular deviation. I guess we need to document this and guarantee some backward compatibility.
Yes. So from now on, the VCDM will have all the models supported in the Swift SDK. And in the future, we're going to add these modules for TS SDK and KMP Kotlin SDK, right? But we're also going to have issuance with these models on the Swift SDK, right? So they will support any credential that is added with these models, and it will support as well the to issue credentials with these models.
Yeah, cool. It means that Swift SDK is going to be the newest SDK in the Identus platform among all other SDKs and Cloud Agent. But I believe that we'll figure it out. And this week we also focused on VDR phase 3. So Fabio implemented driver for GVM platform, but added indexing in the NeoPrism for resources, and we need to write particular tests for a VDR driver in order to finish this phase. So tests and documentations are left to deliver this phase. Phase 4 is about integrating this driver into the cloud agent and other components. So I believe that 1-2 weeks is required for us to finish VDR phase 3 and continue with phase 4, milestone 4. Yep. And yep, another insight, Shailesh and me, together with Spot, we are currently involved into Midnight initiative to create the Did Midnight method, library, resolver, and special service that is called Oracle to verify and issue credentials in a Midnight-friendly format. We are planning to make a demo next week or in 2 weeks of this solution. And I expect that we might consider to add support to the Midnight DID to the Identus platform as well. Because Identus is going to be used by Lace wallet and probably other identity wallets to leverage DID Prism and DID Midnight based on the profile and preferred blockchain network. Cool. Any questions? Okay. GitHub discussions.
So the focus of the next release will be on the data model.
Sir Barton,
Or-
can you repeat,
Yep.
please?
Hold on. Will the focus of the next release be on the data model?
You're talking about the VDR?
Yeah, I mean for the next major release of Identus, what are the features that we should expect, or the ones that are being worked on?
That is a good question. For, I guess, for Swift, there will be the issuance, right, and the VCDMs, the new VCDM models. But for Cloud Agent, I don't know how it is the work on VCDM, but I don't think it's 2.0, but I don't think it's ready. But it will be for sure the VDR.
Okay.
Yes, VDR issuance in the SDKs, it's the part of the offline first initiative.
Yeah.
NeoPrism and VCDM. So there is some tickets in VCDM 1.1, and I will create a corresponding ticket about VCDM 2.0. It's currently in the backlog. So I guess it's going to be a scope of the next platform release.
And question, so on the VCDM, are we going to start dropping the Prism JWT format in favor of the standard name?
Yes,
Like,
I remember about these tickets. We also going to fix it.
yeah, the idea is like if we implement VCDM, we basically use the standard names that everyone else uses. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
I remember, you see, that's a bad excuse, but me and Shailesh were busy with midnight stuff, and yep, I'm constantly thinking about this ticket, and it shouldn't be hard to switch to the right content type. Yep,
Yeah.
it's also going to be a part of the next milestone release.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, VCDM is indeed cool. So It's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, it's a prerequisite for Open Badges 3.0 and for other credential types. MDoc, as far as I remember, Gonzalo, or not?
And what?
MDoc.
I
MDoc.
don't
Oh,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I don't think it needs. I think MDoc uses its own
Oh,
stuff.
its own model. Okay, probably sooner or later we will add it as well. And there is also initiative with technical writers to improve documentation. So it's also listed here. The main idea is to add learning section where we cover questions about SSI issuance, why it's important, replacing this big logo with something more useful, and probably some other improvements. We finished the documentation audit and defined a couple of things that are going to be improved. It's not the highest priority task for us right now because we have VDR and midnight and offline first with issuance. So we cannot, I cannot commit that we will fix everything in documentation, and based on our capacity, probably we will skip update of this documentation, or at least add a couple of improvements. Okay, I just wanted to go to discussions. Do we have anything new here? Well, probably it makes sense to pick up this ticket as well, but we need to figure out if we have capacity to fix it. It was about adding some limitation to the cloud agent to create the deeds in the production. Otherwise, the Cardano wallet might be drained. So it's still discussion, no comments.
Yeah.
But
No
that
updates.
is the ticket, that Cloud Agent wallet that you are mentioning. That is the Prisma node, right? The one that we developed in the first place.
Yeah.
The one that you're trying to deprecate. Does it make sense to?
No, it's not the Prism node. It's really the agent, the cloud agent connecting. It will do the same either way, because the cloud agent connects to wallet and a Prism node, right? And they do different things.
Okay.
So the problem is, whenever the agent is running, there's a mode that you can basically enroll any wallet and create create new wallets. And by doing that, you're publishing DIGs on chain. And when you do that, of course, you spend money. So the problem is, I mean, technically, you shouldn't expose the cloud agent, but it's easy for anyone to fall into that trap and leave it exposed or open or test or whatever. But really, the problem was you could easily create a script to just hit that endpoint and start creating dates and publishing dates basically for anyone. And that will basically drain the wallet. And we were just brainstorming ways to avoid that. And, you know, I don't know what's, if in the end it's a responsibility of whoever set up the cloud agent, or if we should have like conservative, defaults where that is not possible. Because right now, if you hit the agent with just a random API password, that basically creates the wallet for you. It doesn't, you don't need to, like, if you want to use a specific wallet, sure, you need the password for that wallet, the API password for that wallet. But if you just use a random value, the agent will say, yep, this is a valid, basically, entity, but I don't have a DID, so I'm going to create one and publish one. And it does that automatically. And that's, I think, the major reason why the agent, I think, should never be exposed to the open internet. It should always go through your middleware. But I don't think that is very clear, at least in the documentation. And I guess that could cause some problems. So I think, yeah, the auto provisioning, that was my concern. Auto provisioning means if that is true, which is by default is true, I think it's always supposed to be inside like a test environment. I think as you explained last time, but because it's default, if you just run this agent and you don't know about that, it could potentially drain the wallet.
Yeah, I agree that we should protect that endpoint from being executed multiple times.
Either a rate limit, either some sort of warning, or defaulting to false, the auto provisioning, making it like really explicit that this shouldn't be open to the internet, and you have precaution that auto provisioning means anyone will just create an entity with you, a wallet, a DID, publish, and include in a expense, basically, from the wallet. So that's really it. It's just a warning there, which I think we should try to make it at least very hard to drain the wallet.
As far as I remember, we tried to disable auto provisioning in some issue, and it's pretty easy to make it default false. This is the easiest way, and in this case, you still are not protected from some users that have account and just would like to play with DIDs.
Right. Yeah. So if the auto provisioning is false, it means you have to go through a manual setup of the wallet, and that you need admin API token. If the auto provision is true, you don't need the admin token to create the wallet. I think I'm almost sure that just setting that default to false will work for 99% of the cases where, that kind of attack can happen, because you will also need the admin API key to first manually create the wallet and then provision your user. And that's a precaution where, well, if you leak your admin key, then there's nothing we could do for you. But that's why I think it should be just turned off by default, the auto provisioning at least.
Okay, we can easily do this.
Yeah.
And regarding limiting, it's still open at discussion, guys. So we might control or implement some limiting of operations or DID update operations per tenant.
Yep, and rate limiting could be useful not only for this, could be useful for any endpoint, and it could be implemented at the proxy. Well, that's the other thing. We used to have a proxy in between and then not anymore. And I think later we brought it back, the API 6 kind of interface for the API. So maybe if we bring that back, I know that has rate limited. There's a way to set that up. So we could just, instead of comment on our own rate limiting, just use the one from the proxy and just set it up and just be able to control that over there. That could be useful for any other endpoint, really.
Robert, I guess that rate limiting is not the right solution for this, at least at the proxy level.
Then
It would be better from my point of view to limit the number of operations, because the same user can use this create or updated operations a couple of times per day, and rate limiting is to protect the endpoints from some DDoS or some other attacks.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so internally protect the operation.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, that will be better.
And
Cool.
you are welcome to participate in this discussion and propose some ideas.
All right.
Hey, my only comment there is, and you guys know it better than me, but just the sort of UX of this, like for someone getting started or someone choosing Identus for a hackathon or something, and under the gun, they're just following the directions and they're like, okay, we're gonna launch this thing. And if it creates some obscure, unpredictable behavior when they first launch, like Roberto said, like whatever we do should bake in like warnings, whether it's in the code or whatever. It's just something that people should be aware of so it's not unpredictable. That's all. But I guess it's obvious.
Usually we can write the log message when the auto provision is set to true, that don't use this configuration in production. As you know, there are kind of settings that are useful for dev mode, but can cause a lot of troubles in production mode. So we can add this message to the logs as well.
Yeah, I remember the PostgreSQL admin being open in some Docker, and a lot of people, like not only us, but a couple of other developers also got like takeover, basically, like a Trojan or something mining on the instances because of that. So yeah, those any of those should have like a warning on the log saying like, nope, this is not for production, blah blah blah. So at least they're warned that it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I agree. Good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And about limiting, probably the administrator of the cloud agent can set limits if it's required. In this case, these operations will be under control of particular authorized person.
Yep, that sounds good.
If we have a plan to limit the number of operations, let's say 10 or I don't know 20, when user reaches this limit, he needs to contact the administrator to add operations, something like that. Okay, share your ideas here, and we will figure out how to implement this. There is another conversation about representing the verifiable credentials in UI, but no comments so far. Okay, probably we can park
But
it.
that conversation, it was the Oka, right?
Sorry?
That was the Oka, right?
Yeah, the OCA, the standard for the UI presentation.
Yes, OCA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the standards. And Gonzalo, you told that you're going to contact the W3C Foundation if there is some
I
other
still
alternative.
don't contact anyone, but yeah, I need to. But yes, contact them to see if we can create a specification on this.
Because this OCR is just one way to do this, and as far as I know, it involves adding at least 2 more Docker containers to the infrastructure and figure out which library to use, and then integrate these libraries with our DIDs and cryptography. Because as far as I know, all layers of this OCA are signed with DID key. So it's pretty heavy to integrate, but possible. Okay. Any other proposal, questions, or ideas about this? Next step. Okay. And last week we added to deprecate to close this thread. It's about Cardano DB-Sync. And Fabio, can you remind what we decided to do?
I think it was just to close the thread. So someone was going to make a summary of what was done in terms of building other equivalent to the Prisma node, and this thread was to be closed.
Yeah, I think the latest update where the sync got a lot faster solves this issue basically. This was a bug or something in the way that it was doing the sync operations one by one instead of batching, and then switched to batching, and that was a lot faster. And I think that fixes this problem. And then even the next step is moving towards a new Cardano node, Prism node code, fresh start with all the lessons learned from this process, and that it will be even faster. So, or not only faster, but at least a lot less resource intensive. So.
Yep, I recall this conversation. Yes, we have Shalish fixed this performance issue in the Prism node, so it works much faster. That's one comment that we will add. Then Fabio introduced Prism VDR based on the file system and GitHub, so you don't need all these components at all. You can just use particular URL and fetch the DID public keys, and Platt introduced NeoPrism, which can use DB-Sync as well, but the Demeter DB-Sync can be configured, which is free for one connection, which is absolutely enough for NeoPrism, and it works. It indexes everything in around 1 minute. And yep, there are at least 3 alternative ways that allows you to optimize resource utilization, probably rid of DB-Sync, and switch to appropriate method of DID resolution. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Fabio, one question. Is there a Git resolver for the SDK that uses the GitHub as backend or no? Not yet.
Fabio can answer.
What was the question?
If there's any, if it's already a Git resolver that uses the GitHub as the source on the SDKs, on the Edge SDKs. I don't think I haven't seen implementation yet of that.
On the SDKs, there was no resolver developed for
No.
I think the TS SDK is something like it. I'm not sure.
The one that I use on the TS SDK is resolving through calling your cloud agent, either locally or a remote with an open endpoint for resolving this. But I think I can quickly, copy that and make it fetch from GitHub. So you don't even need a cloud agent to resolve bits, and you can just, if you trust the GitHub resolver, use that. That would be cool.
The plan there was to have the supporting the format from the universal resolver. I'm not sure if the SDKs have that, but the universal resolver has basically two formats. So it is like just the D document or the D document that also have metadata.
Yeah.
And as long as you are able to configure the link where the universal resolver is, it should work with GitHub.
Yeah, and the resolver for the short div, the short form div resolver on the TS SDK that calls the cloud agent actually reads the JSON from the cloud agent and repackage it in the proper format. So it should work. So I'll try cloning that and using it as base for resolving over GitHub. And that could be another resolver. Like even if your cloud agent is down, then just go resolver on GitHub. Or you don't need a cloud agent at all. And that will be very cool for the issuance too and all that. That will be very, very handy. You just need a browser basically and nothing else. Like as long as you trust that resolver.
Think like this, right? If you are not logged in on GitHub, it has limitations.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you cannot like access every single thing on GitHub and make all the requests that you want if you are not logged in.
I mean, I think for fetching data from GitHub, that limitation is very, very high.
No. There are some like ways, for example, was having the problem. They could not even check out the project.
But as a browser, as a client, connecting to a raw GitHub URL,
you are limited to 60 requests per hour.
Oh, really?
What do you mean by 60 requests per hour?
Any request that you make on the GitHub REST on the GitHub API, any. I'm
not using the API.
Even walking to the website.
Okay.
Even walking to the website, it's a request.
But if you're just scraping, I mean, not scraping.
If you are not logged in, you have these rate limitations.
Yeah, but it's very high. It's not 60 requests per hour. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can fetch more than 50. I can go to some GitHub repository and see more than 50, 60 documents.
Yeah.
Hey, is this conversation kind of moot point if VDR?
Yeah,
is
it's no
there?
point like this conversation.
Like VDR should be the solution here, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
And Roberto, can you review the section of Git Prism resolver? Fabio and Mika posted this document, and we listed all available resolvers. So Cloud Agent and Prism node, we need to update. No, Cloud Agent and Prism node universal resolver. And Fabio can clarify which method do we use. As far as I know, it's block trust resolver.
Yep.
No, it is the block trust. Yes, it is block trust.
Yeah. And then we have near Prism, and there is also endpoint to resolve it, as far as I remember.
But when you ask me to screenshot, I also feel that you don't trust me. You think that I haven't given you full money, and that's why you want.
By the way,
Sorry,
Fabio,
Oh,
I put there the link for you, so you see, like, you can only make 60 requests. That's GitHub docs.
I
So-
know, but
all right.
Yeah, but
And-
that is through the API. We are not calling through
Yeah,
the
exactly. That was my thing too. We're not calling through the REST API for GitHub. We're calling just directly from the raw URL.
That goes to the REST API they have. Like everything goes. Like the thing about the REST API of GitHub, it means even what they use on their own website. Well, when you open a page, right? Every request API they do also counts for this.
Okay, it says 5,000 requests per hour.
No, 60
Authorized.
requests per hour if you are an authorized user.
Unauthorized. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Authorized, you're logged in. You have more,
Yeah.
but unauthorized could. Oh, I see.
Exactly.
All right.
Authorized, you can do basically everything. Like you can.
Yeah.
If you are unauthorized, you cannot do everything.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Okay.
Really? If I refresh the page of GitHub 60 times, I'm not allowed, cannot
If you
access
are
GitHub
logged
anymore?
out, not inside your GitHub account, if you're like an unauthorized user,
I'm going to
it's
try
a very
that.
short limit. Okay. I think it should be more, but maybe yeah. I trust Gonzalo.
It
If
makes
you have
sense.
hit that limit, yeah, it will
It
stop
makes sense.
scraping because you always use GitHub logged in, so you cannot tell. But if you actually call it from unauthorized, from a different client, you might be hitting those limits because it will stop scrapers and all that too, right? So, okay, that's a
Wait till
good
they
point.
start. Wait till they start showing a banner ad.
Yeah.
We can easily test it by
Yeah.
implementing some curl script or some performance test.
I mean, why do you want to test it? It's on their page, right? And if they want, they change it. Like, but it makes completely sense because it means like you are more protected from DDoS attacks, for example.
Yeah.
It makes completely sense this limitation.
It seems very low. Like, so how do you implement that? That is by IP, I assume. Imagine that you are a school. More than
They
60
say it's by
people.
IP. Hmm?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume.
What?
I'm just saying that it's very low, but okay, doesn't matter. Let's
Yeah, but
go ahead.
it's very low or not. It's what they have written on their documentation. Like it's just what it is.
I believe that sooner or later we will continue our collaboration with Blockfrost and figure out how to expose Git Prism resolver here as well. But anyway, there are plenty of resolvers you can use. And, Block Trust, Near Prism, Cloud Agent. or Prism VDR if you want to have some lightweight solution without any additional infrastructure. Cool. Anyway, we will close this thread with the corresponding comment. Okay, 10 minutes left. Would you like to discuss anything else, guys? Did methods. I'm not sure about supporting new did methods, but probably in a couple of months we will add the did midnight. If you have any other ideas for other did methods, let's discuss this at benefit at the next community calls.
I don't still see any prevailing did method that trumps overall. I think it's if we have the capacity to add more did method,
Guys, can
I'm all for it.
can I
That's
just like share one thing with you guys?
sure.
Yuri, can I share it?
Yep, sure. Oh, let me stop. Oh, how to stop? Where is the stop sharing button?
Maybe in one of those tabs.
Yes, I'm trying to find it.
God damn it, Yuri. On top of your, on top, you see the purple thing on the Mac? On top of the bar? Just press
Yeah.
that and say and sharing.
The purple button on the top bar on the menu.
I have slightly
Completely
different
lost, Yuri.
view, I guess.
The purple button on the top bar.
Where
Okay.
the Mac menu is.
Yeah, top bar
Yeah.
of the Mac. You see a purple thing with a,
Yes, I see it.
rectangle.
Thank
and you
you,
can-
thank you, Gonzalo. It was
Right.
not easy.
Let me share with you guys. Can you guys see?
GitHub.
Can you guys see?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, there
You
you
just
have
hit
triggered
your
a testing mechanism.
Ah.
And all that I did was refreshing too many times. I was
Right.
pressing refresh button too many times. So there you go, Fabio.
Yeah.
Okay, seems it's very low in my opinion.
So you're saying
I think they changed it.
that's what our rate limit message should be. Whoa there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you triggered a abuse detection mechanism. So yeah. And I just refreshed it multiple times. So as you see, it exists. It is a remit. You even have like the GitHub page in here saying remit. So yeah,
Now see.
like you cannot do it. Oh, look, I could do it again. If I start doing again.
But anyway, it's very convenient for hackathons, prototypes, and I don't think that one user
Yeah.
can make more than 60 requests to resolve some bits.
It depends,
Per
yeah,
hour.
but it depends what the user does it more in there, right? If it opens whatever, if it does anything more.
If it's a verifier that constantly verifies particular credentials, yes, it might be the case. But if it's
Yeah. But at that point, as an implementer, you can add like, oh, connect to GitHub and get an API key and then
There you go.
use your authenticated thing.
Again, triggered.
Okay, you triggered it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just call it like by the command line like 1,000 times and it didn't fail. So I'm not sure what's happening.
Gonzalo, don't abuse GitHub.
No, like I'm abusing it.
Don't get us kicked out.
They will ban you.
No, I was not authenticated, so I removed my authentication.
Okay, Roberta, John, do you have any other questions to discuss?
No,
Otherwise, I propose
sounds
to
good.
close the
Yeah.
meeting.
No, just a general one. I've been sort of out of the loop for the last month or so, but I'm just curious, like, it looks like the good next step for someone like me is just to review the discussions, which I have not done. So like, maybe that's just a good thing for me to do, is just catch up with everything in discussions. Does that sound right?
There will be a cool thing for you that I'm going to probably add. Well, like 3 things good for you, but it's for Swift.
Okay.
One is I'm probably going to add another engine to Pluto that uses Swift data
Okay. Yep.
instead of core data.
Yep.
Well, it uses core data.
It is core data. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and second, I'm working on the different way of having the credentials on the credentials plugins, basically, where it
Mhm.
involves like pipelines on building credentials and such.
Okay.
It's still pretty new, right? But
Yep.
if I manage to have it some way, I will share with you. So
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll just try to catch up in the meantime. Thanks.
cool. No worries.
Guys, I guess that Gonzalo would like to make Swift SDK more popular. As you know, that Apple invested a lot of resources into backend for Swift, particular alternative to the Docker platform using alternative images, and the Swift is also going to be a cross-platform language. So
Yes,
I
I
believe that
want to make it usable everywhere, like Android and stuff.
Gonzalo is on this, and in a couple of months or years, he might declare that Swift SDK can be used everywhere.
Well, I'm on that team too, because that's my only skill set. So I need I need career safety. So I'm all on board. Let's do it.
Well, you have a powerful skill set. My skill set's composing presentations and running meetings. Okay, guys.
Closing meetings. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for attendance, and see you in 1 week. Bye bye.
Yeah. See you
All right,
guys.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.